Hello everyone, so I'm taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Series number 148, Leatherneck. I like Leatherneck. Leatherneck's very cool. Looking at the box here, G.I. Joe Classified Series Standard. This is the new packaging style and everything. Leatherneck up top, G.I. Joe there. You can see the G.I. Joe logo on the top there, as well as the 148 right there. The various little insignia things on the side here. Shield, bullets, weights, and the jungle. Some very nice art of Leatherneck right there, and a QR code that leads you to nowhere, so don't bother scanning it. On the back here, very cool art here, which has dial tone in the back there, and what looks like maybe the Cobra Terradrome? I don't know. I don't recognize what this is exactly in the background here. If somebody knows what it is, let me know. But it looks familiar, and I don't really know why. But you can see some of the product details here, the Marine logo right there, the whatever that is. On the side here, very nice art of Leatherneck. Leatherneck looks really cool, so I really want to get him open. So let's crack him open. And here is Gunnery Sergeant Wendell A. Metzger out of the packaging, and I like this guy a lot. This figure looks really, really good. I was pleasantly surprised by this, because when I opened this up, where I saw this, I was just like, this is just going to be kind of akin on the same way as like Gung Ho and Sergeant Slaughter. Not to mention those figures are bad, but just that, like, it's just kind of the generic soldier archetype looking figure. Grunt, rock and roll, all those other guys kind of looks like this. This guy feels a little different. Like, he's genuinely really solid. I was really impressed by this figure. And the sculpt work on this figure is fantastic as well. Like, the molding and the design of this figure really, really is super solid. I love the greens that they use for the suit, for the pants, and for the undershirt, and for the hat. I think it's a really nice shade of green, along with the darker, like, kind of brown for the camo. The tan shirt that he's wearing, like the overlay shirt that he's wearing, I think that looks really good. I like the fact that he's got on, like, a watch here that says, 1900 hours. He's got a watch that, not a watch, he's got a magnetic bracelet on, which a lot of people use for, like, arthritis and, like, joint pain, which I guess would make sense for an older guy like him. I really like this guy. I think my favorite accessory, honestly, is the little glasses he's got on. He's got, like, the proper shooting glasses, like the ones people wear when, you don't want to get anything in your eyes when you're shooting. I like that a lot. But let's get him a little closer here so we can see him better. And bring him closer. Like I said, those glasses look really nice. That is an incredible mustache, by the way. His hat's got an attempt at the Marine, like, logo on there. They tried that with Gung Ho a while ago, but they actually can't use that legally, so they had to use something similar to it, which is what he's got on his helmet there. There's a nice 2 sets of pins right here on either side of his lapel, which is very nice. 2 grenades. He's got a knife that is removable. It's a giant knife, probably a K-bar of some sort. He is a Marine. He's got what I believe is a radio here on his left thigh, and on his right thigh here, he's got a pistol, which is removable, which is very, very nice. If I can get it back in there. Come on, work with me here. Come on. Take with the abilities. There we go. He's in there. The nice knee pads here, nice boots. Everything about this looks great. A very intimidating logo or a symbol right there on his left shoulder right there. The backpack is nice with this green little blankie, so he'll be nice and warm when the winter rolls in. But I want to take his helmet off here, or his hat, and his glasses off, because that is Don Fry. I don't care what anyone says. That's Don Fry from Godzilla Final Wars, among other things, and MMA and everything. But that is a really solid head sculpt. That is really good. That is basically what I see when I think of Leatherneck. Or alternatively, when I think of when I see Bazooka. That is a very much a Bazooka head as well. Looks really, really solid, honestly. Here, taking the knife out of his chest real quick. This is the knife I was talking about. This is absolutely a K-bar of some sort. Serrated on the back there. Nice curve. The handle coming down slightly to a point, so that way, if he's holding it, he can actually hold it between his hand and his forefinger, which looks really, really nice if you hold it like that. Again, the pistol here, which is removable, which, if you get a little closer here, the pistol looks really solid. You get a little extended mag right there. A sight on the top there. I'm not sure what type of pistol that is specifically. If anyone knows exactly what type they're kind of modeling after, I'd appreciate it if you let me know. But that is the pistol he has, which just locks in there very nice. He has his hat, which we talked about. He has his sunglasses, we talked about, by the way. Which, by the way, these fit on super well. They are not going to go anywhere. Put that on. those are not going anywhere. Those staying right where put, which is very nice. Because usually these classic figures have a problem of sunglasses either not staying on properly or just sliding right off, like that awful buzzer. That buzzer's awful with those glasses. Ripper's better. The Chuckles figure has those, but like they're not really designed to even stay on there. His head isn't designed for that, so they just kind of slip off. He also has a rifle, which we haven't looked at yet, but this is basically what is meant to be an M16 with an underbarrel grenade launcher. It doesn't really look like an M16. It looks like something else. But as a gun, as like a toy, it works really well. It's a big, big gun, which works great for him. He holds it really well. It looks really nice. There's a little pouch here on the buttstock right there. The magazine is, of course, removable, as they all are. The magazine is removable, which is very nice. The underbarrel grenade launcher is very cool. There's actually a peg on both of these, so if you have blast effects, you can put one in the barrel for the rifle and the barrel for the grenade launcher, which is really nice. However, it's hard for him to hold this specific trigger, because you'll probably see in some of the pictures I take later. But the actual only way you can have him hold it is through the trigger in the back here, and also holding the bottom of the underbarrel for the grenade launcher. That's the only way that it's going to work, which is fine, I guess. Same thing in the back here, nothing else on the side here. But yeah, that is the weapon he has. Now he also comes with a set of punching hands.
Always cover your rear.
So, you know, push comes to shove, he can shove. So which is really nice. I like that they are including a lot more alternate hands with the Joes now. Because usually for a while we would just get like the trigger finger hands and then a lot of guns, which I'm not going to complain about. Guns are very cool, especially for the G.I. Joe figures. But, oh yeah, by the way, the thing here is removable. It does not like to stay on. That tends to slip off a little bit. So just be wary about that. The plastic is really soft, so it can slip on and off real easy. Just a little word of warning there. But like, I like that he has the punching hands, which makes sense. You know, he does get into fistfights a lot. And if we get a wetsuit, oh my God, if we get a wetsuit, I'm going to have them beat the crap out of each other. If that's all there's going to be. It's everyone. If we get a wetsuit, all my Joes on my shelf are kind of lined up nice, like next to each other, like the opening to the cartoon, or they're all just standing there in front of the American flag. If there's a wetsuit, they will be beating the snot out of each other. They'll be the only ones who are into scuffle, because it's going to be him versus a wetsuit. Which, come on, please give us a wetsuit at this point. I need a wetsuit, so give us a wetsuit. As for the articulation for Leatherneck here, let me take the backpack off. Backpack's cool, by the way, little canteen there. As articulation, he can look up that far, can look down that far. The head is on a ball joint as well as a hinge joint at the neck. I think it's actually 2 ball joints, but it doesn't really work all that well. He can only look slightly far. It doesn't work very well, which is the movement on his head there is a bit limited, which kind of sucks. But also, I don't really see him. I probably wouldn't be using a lot of motion there for him. The arms can do a full 360 there, or 180. Swivel here at the shoulder, swivel here at the bicep. The arms are pinless and double jointed, so they can go up and down like that. Very nice. I will say the joints on mine are very tight. I think it's just because where I'm at right now, it's very cold, so the joints are getting very, very stiff. They're getting very stiff. When summer rolls around, I'll tell you what, these things will be loosey-goosey. Their torso can go up and down, but there's an ab crunch there, but this coal overlay completely blocks it. Oh, butterfly joints, by the way. Butterfly joints that don't do much. The overlay completely blocks it. It's a good overlay. It looks really good. And thankfully, he's got this beautiful ball jointed lower torso here, so you get a lot of motion there. But the ab crunch is basically non-existent. If you want an ab crunch, sorry, you're not getting it here. There are drop-down hips, but the drop-down hips don't really matter because he's got this like gear on his legs there. That one works fine, but this one does not work at all. Like the one for this pistol does not work at all. Swivel here at the shoulder. Yeah, this is the shoulder, upper thigh, double jointed pinless knees, and again, they are super tight, these joints. Yeah, see me straining just to try and get this thing to bend. Don't be afraid to give these figures some pull, by the way. Don't be afraid to be a little rougher with them. They are designed for play. They're designed to take a little bit more of a beating than per se an imported figure, so they can handle a little bit. Double jointed pinless knees. Swivel here at the calf. No, ankle. That's what it is. It's called an ankle. Foot goes down, up, swivel side to side. Also, these are the legs that come from Airborne, I want to say. I think these are Airborne's legs. As for the arm, that is a new mold. New mold. Head's new mold. overlays new mold, these pants a new mold. A lot of this is a new mold, but some of this is reused. I'm 100% confident these forearms have been used as well as these hands. I know these legs are used from, I think, Airborne, like I said. So yeah, this is some overuse, but actually a lot of new stuff on here. I don't know about the lower torso because you just can't see it, but it's safe to say that that is reuse. It would be crazy if they molded a new lower torso that you can't even see because you physically cannot take this overlay off. I'm sure somebody has, but I'm not going to do that because that is too much work. As an 86 Joe, it only feels fair that I bring out some fellow 86 Joes, like Beachhead, who looks really cool. I don't think they shared any screen time in the movie. I actually can't remember if Leatherneck was in the movie. I don't think he was. But they've definitely shared some screen time in the cartoons, so that's very fitting. And a Marine can't be fitted with another Marine. We have Sergeant Slaughter. It actually says on file card that he, Leatherneck was a drill sergeant as well, so it makes extra sense that these two would be here. You could probably swap the hats, put that on if you want full-on drill sergeant Leatherneck, but I'm not going to do that. I don't think that would look right. And because we don't have a wetsuit, close enough we'll have to do with Shipwreck, who I have no doubt that Leatherneck would still beat the snot out of, simply just for the fact that he is Shipwreck. So there's Leatherneck. I was pleasantly surprised by this guy. I really was. I'm not to say this figure was going to be bad, but I was just like, wasn't expecting him as much to enjoy this as much as I did, and I really did enjoy this figure. So get one. They're still available now. Yeah, I think he's a little bit more expensive than the other ones. Oh, and down he goes. But like I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by this falling moron. Get this guy. He's great. Super, super solid. If you want a new Marine, this is the perfect guy for it. He's part of the 86 line, so he's one of the more quote-unquote newer figures. They're all the same age at this point. they're all the same age in terms of how old they are. But this guy looks really good. I love this guy. Again, like I said, give us a wetsuit. For God's sakes, give us a wetsuit. The fact that we don't have one now and we have a Leatherneck but not a wetsuit is infuriating. So we better see a wetsuit reveal at this Comic-Con this year or I'm going to lose it. But yeah, that is the Leatherneck. If you like this, please like, comment, subscribe. Everything you need to get done for me, you can do the videos that I love to make. And I'll see you next time. Join the Discord server down below. And I'll see you next time. I just said it, but I had to say that before. So, yo, Joe.